everyone. This is the first video of introduction to Stream API, and by end of this video we'll see how as a stat engineer we can use Stream API to reduce the boilerplate code and to make our source code more readable, right? So let's jump into it. So first of all, Stream API, it was introduced in Java 8. It convert source data. The source data can be in form of collection, form of array or some other input output channel it can be, right? So first of all, it will not modify the source data. It will just use the source data to create some other form of data, right? So first you will convert your source data into a stream. Only then you can perform the operations which are supported by Stream API. And when we are talking about the operations, there are two type of operation. First one is intermediate operation, which is nothing which, but it is responsible to convert your original stream into some other intermediary form of stream, right? And then in the end you have terminal operation. Terminal operation is responsible for generating the final output, right? So one thing to note here is that there can be zero or more intermediary operation. And when we'll see the example in the as part of demo, we will be able to understand how all of these things are working in real time, right? So let me go to this official documentation of Oracle, where it is mentioned like to perform a computation, stream operations are composed into a stream pipeline, and the stream pipeline looks like the pipeline that you are seeing here. Like this was your source data widget. You converted it into a stream. Then you performed filter operation and map operation. Both of these are intermediary operation. So both of them converted your original stream, which you received by the help of dot stream method. It converted your original stream into first this intermediary stream, then the second one was this map related intermediary stream, and in the end you performed the operation sum. So this operation was responsible for generating the final output. So this is a terminal operation here, right? So if we jump onto this part now, like we discussed this, then a stream pipeline consists of a source. Here widget is the source in this example, right? A stream pipeline consists of a source which might be an array, a collection, or some other form of data, right? It can have zero or more intermediary operations which transform a stream into another stream, such as filter predicate. So as of now, let us not go into that much of detail. By in our further videos, we'll see what a predicate is, what functional interfaces are, right? In much more detail. So, and a terminal operation which produces a result or side effect such as count, forEach, or here we had the sum. Similarly, there is find first, find any. So all of these are terminal operations. Now, conceptually, this is a really important thing to know that streams are lazy. That means computation on the source data is only performed when the terminal operation is initiated, and source elements are consumed only as needed, right? So when this sum comes into the picture, only at that time the operations on the elements which were present within the widget were taken place, right? So now let us move to the demo part. So what I have done is like I will use Selenium for the demo, and we will go into this particular link. We'll fetch all the hyperlinks, right? And then we'll try to see all the links which are starting with F, and our output is like we need to uh, get that particular hyperlink text which is starting with F and has maximum length, right? So here we can already see that form authentication is that particular link text which is starting with F and has maximum length. So of course we can do it with the help of XPath as well, but for the demo purpose, like how Stream API work, this is more simple example that I can think of. So let us do this thing with the help of code now. So here what I have done is I have already set up a basic test ng framework here. Here we have a WebDriver we are going to this link. Then what we are doing, we are using tag name to fetch all the hyperlinks. So here we will have the list of web element. So how we used to do it before Java 8 was like we used to have for loop, we used to iterate through every element, and then we used to, in case we need the text, that's how we used to get all the texts, right? By iterating through every element and then using the get text method. Then the next thing is like we need to only have those links which are starting with F. So for this, what we can do, again, another array list. We iterate through every link text and see which string is starting with F, and then we add it to our this particular list. So in this time, like when we are at line number 31, here we have all the links which are starting with F. Now we just need to get the maximum length. We need to see which index has the maximum length of the hyperlinks starting with F, and then just print that particular text in S out statement, right? So that's how we used to do it. Like we used to define maximum equal to 0 index, and then we used to iterate through all the links starting with F here, and we just used to compare, like if the current length is greater than the max, we'll assign the length to the max, and if it is not, then that this loop will be skipped, and in the end we will have the maximum length, and we will also have the index corresponding to that maximum length, right? And then we will print it. Now let us see how, like if you see here, before going to the stream part, we had like 3 4 loops, and we introduced like 1 2 and approximate 4 variables, right? And in the end we were able to achieve our output, and it took around 20 line of source code. So now let us go to the stream part. So what I have done, uh, so let me, instead of doing it here, let me comment it for now, and we'll go one by one so that you are able to see what all operations we are having. So first was like we have source data, right? Source data in our case is this. Like if I go to this image, we had array collection input output channel. So this is a stream source. Now we will convert this list of web element into a stream first, right? We converted it into a stream. Now we will do some intermediate operations. The first intermediate operation is what we want to do first. We want to get the text of every web element. For that, whenever we are talking about every element, we are talking about map. Whenever we are talking about we want to remove some element on basis of some condition, we are talking about filter, right? Of course, there are some other uh, like a lot of other operations as well, and we'll go into the definition in our further videos as I mentioned earlier, but this is a quick demo to show you how stream API works. So let me use map here. Map will be implemented on every element, and as it is a web element, so we can use maybe E, so that it is more readable, and we can say element dot, sorry, E element dot get text, right? Then once you get the text, the other thing is we want to apply filter, because once you have the text, we want to have those strings which are starting with starts with F, right? And then the next thing is, once you have that, next thing we want to get the string which is having maximum length, because here in this position we already have the stream of strings which are starting with F. Now we just need to check which of the string have the maximum length. Now this is some, we are going to use comparator here. Comparator dot comparing int, because we are talking about length, right? And once you will do it like in this way, for example, we have string here, right? And we know that s dot length, we are talking about length. So here, um, going forward in future, of course, we will be discussing about these things as well. But for now, you just need to consider it like max is a terminal operation, right? Here, what we have done is we have achieved like we are comparing on basis of length, and for comparing we use comparator in Stream API, right? And this is the way to do that. And let me use, so this will give you an optional, and to get the value of the optional, of course you need to do some other checks as well, but for now let me use simple get. So it will give you the value out of this particular max, right? And you are seeing some improvements suggested by IntelliJ. These are the improvement in context of lambdas, which we will be discussing in future videos, but for now let us use it like this. So that's all. So in the end, these 20 line of source code is converted into just like this, 4 or 5 line of source code. And once you get used to Stream API, you will find it more readable as of now. Maybe map filter, this is quite new, but once you see it, like once you get used to it, you will be able to know, yeah, it is map, it will perform operation on every element. And what we are doing is, here we are having the stream of element, here it is like also mentioned here, stream element, right? Stream of web element, then we are converting it to stream of string as per our desired results, right? And then we want to filter on basis of such string which are starting with f. Then we want the that particular string which have maximum length, which is achieved by this, right? So in the end, it looks something like this. We converted this whole like set of code, sorry, uh, 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 let me open that image. So we converted this whole set of code into just this 5 line of code, right? And that's why I was saying that we are removing a lot of boilerplate code, and we are making our code more concise and more readable. And let me just trigger my test case to show you. I think I already did it, but let me as part of this demo as well trigger it, so that yeah, I need to get this output into a string max, right? And I'm printing this. So instead of parallel execution, let me first execute this one. And we already know that this form authentication is the maximum length of this text which are starting with F. So let us see. Yeah, we have form authentication. And now let me use the test method which is having stream. Yeah, so we got the same output. So that's it for this video, guys. In our future videos, we'll go into more detail of all of these lambdas, stream APIs, and how we'll take some real example of how we achieve the things in test automation using the stream API. So thank you, guys.